Feminism, which just means the belief in the social, economic, political equality of women and men, is necessary in order to look at the world as if everyone mattered. We have to take that leap of the imagination if we're ever going to get to a world in which everyone does matter. And I hope that we're beginning to realize that nationalism is no longer relevant. I mean, polluted air doesn't respect national boundaries. Poisoned water doesn't respect national boundaries. Terrorism doesn't respect national boundaries. That we have to look at the world as if everyone mattered, whether they live in another country or not. Ms. Magazine is a source of information that you don't get other places. That's our job. And one of the kinds of information has to do with women in other countries and what's going on internationally with women. That has actually become, according to readers, the most valued part of our coverage. The campaign of the Feminist Majority Foundation and L.A. Smeal has been absolutely, crucial for the government not recognizing the Taliban. Clearly, 9/11 and the fact that the Taliban had provided a home for the Al-Qaeda terrorist network gave, for the first time, activist women of the world and the U.S. administration and the alliance as well, the international alliance, the same adversary. There was an opportunity, a window of opportunity to emphasize what was happening to the female half of the population, and perhaps even to explain that this kind of polarization of male and female roles is the single common mark of violent authoritarian regimes. In fact, women had been very much part of the society, had been teachers, had been lawyers, doctors. I think until we have the idea that there is godliness in all living things, in women, in animals, in nature, we will continue to destroy women, animals, and nature in a way that is not in the long-term self-interest of anyone. In Afghanistan, there are many measures that need to be taken. One is to close the borders to arms, so no new arms come in. There are more landmines in Afghanistan than any place in the world, more landmines than people. Helping teams of landmine removal, which the population there desperately wants. Right now, the main thing that is manufactured in Afghanistan are artificial limbs. We should be mounting a Marshall Plan. This country, after World War II, helped its enemies intelligently, understanding, that to build up democracies was in our self-interest, with a massive Marshall Plan. I'm not responsible for the interim government, and as far as I can see, they're doing the best they can. I'm in touch, secondhand at least, with Seema Samar, who is the head of the Ministry for Women. She's the one cabinet-level woman in the interim government. And clearly this government is doing its best, but at the moment what it has is the power to meet and greet. It has not been given a penny by the U.S. government. They were supposed to receive aid after the meeting in Tokyo of a variety of governments that were going to contribute. But basically, in Seema Samar's case, she doesn't have an office. She doesn't have a telephone. I mean, they're very basic stuff that this government doesn't have. It's my understanding that we're spending at least $1 billion a month on war. There are more landmines than people in Afghanistan. There are no war roads in many cases. There's no banking system. There's no telecommunication system. The country has paid the price of our war campaign against the Soviet Union. It's always going to be a refuge for violence and terrorism in the same way that a poor neighborhood in this country is a refuge, but a much bigger version, unless we spend at least a portion of the money on peace that we have spent on